Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are going to finally finish our scene-by-scene breakdown of Pluto the Series, Episode 6. Woo! It has
Woohoo!
been a
Oh my god.
journey. The writers did not disappoint with the halfway episode.
They did not.
They did
This
not.
has been a whole journey in one episode.
It sure has been. And this is probably the best part of the episode that you guys have all been waiting for, because this is the actual super gay stuff. So yay, we're finally going to get into it. It's going to be amazing. We don't have any corrections and clownery this time because, as you may or may not notice, we are filming this right after we filmed part 2 because I'm going on vacation soon and can't film next week. So we're doing this all now. So if you sent us any comments or corrections, we will get to them. Please keep sending them. We just don't have any right now. We did them in our part 2 episode.
Yes.
All right. Shall we get into this?
Yeah, let's just get right into it.
All right, cool. So after I and May are in the bar / lounge / tea shop, whatever, we cut on over to a new day. I'm not sure when in the timeline, but it's a different day. I and Pang are dressed all in black and waiting at the temple. And I looks pretty agitated and lost in thought. So Pang's like, girl, what the fuck is going on with you?
I just want to point out that I looks very gay right now.
She really does. Namdam knows how to stand like a gay person, and I love her for that. Thank you, ma'am. Body language is powerful. That's what gaydar is mostly built on. Okay, so I confides in Pang about May, because what else would I have on her mind, really? And so this is one of the first conversations that they have where everything seems to be back to normal for them. So good job, Pang. Pang went to therapy off screen and did an amazing job.
I feel like Pang could become a therapist one day.
I do too. I feel like if she wasn't a plant girly, she could also be a therapist. But I don't know that she'd have the patience to be a therapist, honestly.
That's true.
But
I feel like she would start training for it and then be like, people.
Right. She hates people. That's why she likes plants. I get you, Pang. Just you're very insightful and emotionally intelligent, and I love that in a character. And also, what I also found really notable and good is that Pang clearly actively listens to I when she talks about her problems. Like, instead of just being like letting the jealousy cloud everything and be like, ugh, I and May and this weird situation, she actually listens to I and gives her actual advice, which was great. So their friendship is intact, basically.
Just so proud of her for how she's handled everything. Again, like she had to have gone to therapy because she's killing it right now.
Yeah, Pang did a great job. Okay, so I confides in Pang that she wants to, quote, help May the way May helped her. But I's at a loss for how exactly to do that because May is perfect. Her words. And Pang reframes I's dilemma based on what I tells her and says, make her believe in herself the way you believe in her, which is great advice, Pang, because that is exactly what May gives I. So she's like, reciprocate, bitch, be an equal partner in this relationship. Let's not talk about and how this is all actually pretty weird. I'm just here to support you because you look sad. And so I takes in what Pang just said and obviously gets really lost in thought and literally looks like a lovesick puppy, which of course Pang, as her best friend, is legally obligated to make fun of her for because she has it so bad. And Pang's like, this is gross. You're so gross. It's like if Pang had limes the way Big Nung had limes around Sam and Mon, Pang would be shoving limes into her mouth with the peel on and everything. Because this is...
Yes.
God damn it,
She wouldn't be able to get enough.
No. Give me a fucking lime meringue pie. This is disgusting. And honestly, I'm happy to see them not only supporting, Pang and I back to being supportive friends, but Pang is able to joke with I too. So it's nice to see their normal banter back after their almost fallout, basically. And of course, I doesn't engage in this behavior. Instead, she's like, stop making fun of me, Pang. How do I make fun of you? How's you and your now ex-girlfriend doing? Let's talk about you. I don't want to talk about me.
But I love the banter that continues here, though, because she's like, "How's your girlfriend?" And Pang's like, "You mean ex-girlfriend?" She's like, "Yeah, that one." And just the way the facial expressions, the way they interact, it's hilarious and perfectly done. And they're just really cute friends.
They're
And
cute friends.
it seems like they have a sort of like a typical sisterly relationship dynamic between them. Like
They do.
that filled the gap for that she didn't have with
Yeah, that's very true. So Pang reveals that she's not speaking to Officer Hottie at the moment because she says she doesn't think that's a good idea. And she's right, because if she were to try to engage with Officer Hottie right now, like, that would only hurt Officer Hottie. She's not the type of person that can just be friends with her ex she's still in love with. Like, the bitch needs to process shit and needs to be alone. And again, Pang is very emotionally mature, and I like that she recognizes that about her situation with Officer Hottie.
Yes, really big for her. But yeah, Officer Hottie's like, she's got to process a lot because she was in like a one-sided relationship for a while, and that's gonna be a whole thing for her to have to overcome and to be able to go into another relationship healthily.
Yeah, because we pointed out before that Pang basically already came to terms with the relationship being over a long time ago, and so yeah.
But then, because of this, like, Pang tries to deflect the conversation back to saying talking about herself just kills the vibe. And Pang seems to like struggle with confiding her own struggles to her friends. Like it's like, "Oh, I'll help you with your problems, but mine are just like not as relevant. Like we don't need to talk about me." And I think this could be like another reason that it took her so long to realize her own feelings and figure out what she wants, because she's not having this dialogue with her friends.
That's true. Maybe one day, Pang, maybe one day you'll confide in I. So this conversation between I and Pang ultimately ends when Kasol arrives alone and with the offerings for the temple. And he admits that Ben refused to join them. Like, he tried, but then Ben was like, yeah, no. And at this time in the story, we learn that Ben's mother is dead. Like, that's why they're here. The kids are here to come pay homage to the surrogate mom, but we don't have the full story of like what happened and why Ben's not here. So I think that like when we learn the greater context of like what happened, that Ben probably feels really guilty about his mom dying for his what she thought would be his benefit, and so maybe that's why he's not here. But GMMTV is not telling us the full story here, so that's partially why we don't get that now. So the kids are there like talking to her, and basically like Pang's like, well, we hope that you're like living worry free now, like you've left all your worries and from this life in this life and have like let all that go. And I was like, yeah, you don't even gotta worry about us either, because we're not Motorpunks anymore. And I love that everybody stares at I and they're like, the fuck, I?
The looks that they give her is
so
hilarious.
It was hilarious. It's just like, what? It's true. We grew up. So funny. What a dork. All right, so that's them being good kids. And then we shoot on over to what is Pang's ex up to? And so we get some domestic Officer Hottie and Jan, basically. So Officer Hottie is over at Jan's packing up boxes, and because Jan's moving. And it's revealed that Officer Hottie is using her paid leave to help Jan move. And what the hell was the conversation off screen where Jan convinced her to do this?
Seriously, how did we get here? Like from them like randomly bumping into each other to like them being on terms where Jan can just be like, "Hey, help me move."
It's not even help me move, because like they've been hanging out and friendly, but like it's like, hey, use your paid leave from your job, which is normally used for vacations and for you to take time off and relax, to help me move. How did we get there to that level of like she's using her paid leave for me? Like, that's a big, you gotta really know somebody well to be doing that. Unless like Officer Hottie just happened to be on paid leave, which then why is she on paid leave from her job? We never get that explanation. It's just connected to Jan moving. How did we get here? Is what happened off screen really with Officer Hottie? Like, how did we get here?
We don't get a lot of explanations with Officer Hottie and her
No.
job. We need more backstory.
Yes. But I mean, by the end of the show, like clearly like something was going on with her job, hence that like email she gets with like an apology. But like we get no context of what is happening, why suddenly she's on paid leave. She got Plutoed by production, and that's how we got the scene.
That's how we got here.
That's what we got here because we got to get Jan together with Pang, so we got to get that moving at Officer Hottie's expense. Poor Officer Hottie. Anyway, Officer Hottie's like, I'm trying to get a break from Law and Order, and so she's here helping Jan move, I guess. And Jan is like, "Girl, you're Officer Hottie. There is no time off for Law and Order. It's part of your name, girl. What do you mean? You're just helping me move." Jan is like, "Girl is into me. Girl is pretty. Girl is helping me move." Those are Jan's thoughts. And then at this point in the conversation, Jan speaks my inner monologue into existence because she points out very excitedly that Officer Hottie is smiling right now. So it does seem like off screen, Officer Hottie did process the breakup with Jan and is able to find joy again, which is a really big thing when you are emotionally, speaking from experience, emotionally going through that situation. Like just having some kind of joy is like really monumental. So I'm very proud of Officer Hottie for also being able to process things the way Pang was processing stuff. And the other thing from this whole scene too is it's really evident that like Officer Hottie does feel super comfortable just hanging out with Jan, which also is big when like she's more like the stoic inner like introvert. So I would imagine in the way that when I has a lot going on, she retreats to be alone to process things. Officer Hottie, in my mind, I feel like would have a similar like reaction to things like that. But like here she is like with Jan, bubbly Jan. So I mean, maybe Jan is part of her healing journey, and that's like why Officer Hottie keeps hanging out with her. Because how could you be sad around Jan? I feel like that's actually impossible to do.
Seriously, not with that big gay energy. Oh my
Right.
god.
Also, her big gay energy. Jan has a lot of big energy
She is the embodiment of big gay energy.
in the show. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. If we ever have brackets of big gay energy characters, Jan is going on the bracket because, like, she has a lot of big gay energy. That's like her whole character.
Yeah. But with Officer Hottie in the scene, I think this might be the lightest and like happiest we've seen her in this entire show so far.
Agreed. Yeah, so that says a lot coming on the cusp of that big breakup, honestly. And I think it's really sweet that Jan recognizes that, and she's very happy that Officer Hottie is in a better place in life, especially now that Jan is about to move away and they won't be neighbors anymore. Because clearly they got close off screen because they are hanging out. And Officer Hottie's like, "Oh man, like I'm really proud of you for like being successful so young and getting like Jan bought her own house," and she's like, "I want to own my own house someday, and I also want lots of plants." And it's like, girl, don't we all? Don't we all want that? And that admission just like made me think that like I can see Officer Hottie if the writers knew what they were doing and we got the time jump. I can see Officer Hottie living the cottagecore life with because I feel like also wants a quiet life away from drama because look at her life, and they could heal together with all of their plants.
They've had enough drama for their entire lifetime.
Right. No, they need to pull a Doc Rock and Pam and just like retreat into the rural areas with their own little house. Like that, I feel like those two would like that. Personally.
I could see that, yeah.
Right. That could be the Officer Hottie and story. Somebody write that, please. I have a lot of feelings about them because they both got Plutoed. Anyway, so Officer Hottie's explaining that her dream, and all Jan hears is, "If I buy lots of plants, one day you'll move in with me." Got it. So I think that's why Jan buys a bunch of plants because she has a lot of big energy. And so again, Jan uses this whole conversation as like an opportunity to shoot her shot by telling Officer Hottie, "Well, I am moving and thanks for being happy for me. But like now that we're here, I don't want to leave this apartment because I've been hanging out with you this whole time and now your heart's finally healed. And it would be a real shame if somebody else swooped in and claimed it when I spent all this work putting you back together. Damn, Jan.
Again, just another way like she embodies big energy, because like the confidence that she has is off the charts.
It's off the charts. I know, like Jan. Those are inner thoughts. And she's just like, but you're healed now. That's mine.
It's like, I did that.
I did that. That's mine now. I wrote Jan on your heart. Fucking Jan. She's so funny.
Sure,
But
Jan.
Sure, Jan. It's true though. Like, you know, that part of her motivation, she's like, I'm romantically interested in you, if you didn't notice. And truly, then it cuts to Officer Hottie, and Officer Hottie is looking at Jan like she's literally never considered that Jan was into her. Like, honestly. Which kind of, like, to me, makes sense. Not that Officer Hottie is an oblivious person, but I think it makes sense because Officer Hottie was so invested in her relationship with Pang, to the point where she missed all the signs that Pang was not invested in the relationship. And now she had to process all that heartbreak. And I imagine, honestly, it's going to be a really long time before Officer Hottie is like really healed from that experience with Jan to where she's ready for another intimate relationship. And the same goes for which is why they're perfect for each other. I'm just saying. They can have the Oat and Mob Boss story where it takes them 4 years to get together because they both need to heal.
That's true.
I'm just giving you all this information. GMO TV, you could just make this a show. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Also fan fiction writers at the very least.
I'm just giving you prompts for free. You should really pay us. Okay, anyway, so
on Patreon.
So Jan, so basically Officer Hottie just like brushes off this is Jan being ridiculous because Jan is ridiculous. So like you could be like, you're not serious. You just have so much big gay energy. You just say these things, which is also valid, honestly. Okay, and so then they, I guess, pack up the apartment or most of the apartment or whatever. They get their quota done for the day, and then they get in somebody's car and drive over to Jan's new place. And then we get a exterior shot of Jan's new house, and honestly, it's really fucking cute looking.
It's a nice house.
It's a nice house. Like, well done, Jan. You're a successful single lady. You're going to find the woman of your dreams, like, really soon, like in this episode. And what I love about this exterior of the shot of this house is that, like, Jan's clearly already started the moving process before they are unloading shit. And, like, there's already, what she has done so far from this exterior is there are plants and string lights on the balcony. So I love your priorities, Jan, that's the first thing you do when you move into the house. You're like, you know what? We could use some string lights. Not that I need to move shit into the house. I'm just going to string up some lights here. Like, that, to me, it's just how Jan's brain works. It's all about the vibe. She's like, the vibe would be better if I did this now, right now, in the moving process.
I was very Jan. I would think that it would be Officer Hottie. He was like, you need a plant. But no, Jan would be the one to drop everything. Officer Hottie would be like, no, we have to get the stuff in the house first.
And she was like, no, yeah. I gotta set up these string lights right now. Like, that's very Jan. I love Jan. Okay. So then these two, then we get shots inside the house when they're actually like working together and like unloading the boxes. And Jan is kind of sitting there at some points and just like taking in her new house, her new life. And then Jan gets a call from I. And I is asking her for Ploy's number. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so like
Ploy.
I want to know that. Oh, sorry. Oof. Thoughts back on track. I want to know what Jan thinks when I calls her, like just randomly, because like I feel like every time that she gets a call from her, she's just gonna be thinking, what insane thing is this girl gonna ask about now? And like, as long as she doesn't ask about the one thing that Jan's not supposed to tell her about, right? Who knows?
I mean, is Jan at this point being like, oh God, is she calling me with horrible information about or is this something ridiculous that I is doing? It's more consistently ridiculous shit that I needs help with that Jan could easily clear up if she just told her the fucking truth that Jan also knows about. But here we are, caught in the web of lies we've all weaved.
Yeah.
Yep.
And because of the way that we had to break these episodes up, we're going to do some shout outs for our Chaos Crew on Patreon pretty early in this episode. Woo! Our Chaos Crew members on the Big Gay Rider Die tier and above are Moving Forward Leading, Amix Monzone _ Multi, Natalia, Danny, Michelle G, Ariel W, Leona, Worshipichin, Cassie M, Here For It, Jill L, Regina B, Monet F, Jasmine O, and Nancy D. And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are Samaya R, Sarah C, and Celeste D. Thank you so much for all of your support. We truly, truly appreciate that, and
thank you.
Really appreciate everyone who supports us, no matter what platform you can do that on, whether you're listening to this, watching this, you're consuming this podcast, and we really appreciate that. Make sure that you comment wherever possible, review the podcast, and join our Discord to let us know more about you and just talk queer media with us and all the other people on Discord who just can't get enough, because you will make friends. We are a big gay community, so come join us over there.
Also, if our which Tiger Love has the most big gay energy bracket things are still going on social media, go vote on those. If not, see who the winners were. I don't remember if this will still be going.
I think we might be on the last round, so it might be down to 2 people.
Make your voices heard. Only you can do that.
Only you can choose who has the biggest gay. Which show has the big? Okay,
the most big gay
energy. Only you can choose which show has the most big gay energy.
Watch it actually be only you is the answer at this point. Only you can vote for only you. Anyway.
All right. So back to the show.
Yes, back to this.
We
fucking scene ever.
This is a very
of all
cute
times.
Scene.
The Green Forest. Yes.
I takes May to a restaurant. It's not the same place. And my brain keeps connecting these places like they're the same, but they're not the same.
Okay, can we just first talk about how dramatic and unnecessary it is that I kept all the lights off? May can't see I. You could have made this easier for you to navigate her through this establishment, but you're like, let's keep all the lights off so this can be extra dramatic. And like, I understand that May can sense light changes, but like, I didn't have to go this hard and make it this dark is my point when they're doing this, but she's so dramatic. And
I goes all in. And she's like, it's the production value.
Right. Eyes, again, to your point, I treats May like she's not blind sometimes, and I love that about her. But in all seriousness, this is one of the cutest fucking things that I does in the whole show. She keeps escalating her cuteness with her acts of service. Like, they keep getting more and more elaborate and dramatic and personal to May. Like, wait till we get to the camper and all the shit that she does for that. She doesn't just take May out. She, like, brings all this shit and sets it up. She brings the bunting flags again. Like, she's so dramatic when she does stuff, and it's really sweet. Like, like you said, when she goes all in, she's all in. Like, it's very extreme. And I love that about her.
And that's how...
She's very consistent. Yeah.
I love her so much.
I love her.
She is one of my favorite characters ever.
Yes, agreed.
So,
Hey. If this was in America. Hey.
I describes everything to May, from entering the room to how many tables there are to what is surrounding her. And she even has May touch the bunting flags and tells May that they are white and blue, that are, quote, beautiful like a temple festival.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what the hell a bunting flag was until I watched the show. Like, I didn't know that's what they were called. I just thought they were flags.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that this is... Because I knew what the name was, and then I realized, especially when I went back to watch our reaction video for this episode, I was like, oh, this is where I learned it from, because we both commented on it.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is a bunting flag? Yeah, no, I love that. And then the temple festivals, I knew from the Loyal pin, because like Nin and Pin go to a temple festival with Prick, and that was a cute... When Pin rebelled, and it was really cute. But yeah, the bunting flags. I was like, thank you for teaching me something, Pluto.
You can always learn something from a Thai girl love show. So I then asked May if she's ever been to a temple festival, which is a valid question because like that's what she's describing it as. So like, does May even have knowledge of it? And May's response is that she's worked on a flea market case once. And so this indicates that May hasn't been to an actual festival before, which I think makes sense because I doubt her parents would have taken her to anything that could be like considered fun. Like, doesn't seem like they bothered much with her.
Yeah. And I don't know for sure about temple festivals in terms of like participation, like typical participation by social class. Also, my only frame of reference is the Loyal Pin, and they snuck out to go, and they were both like upper class ladies. But like, I don't know if like it's typical for upper class people to visit temple festivals versus like, is it mostly like local people, a tourist thing? I don't know the population, so it could be a comment on that we're unaware of. But because I can see I just running off to temple festivals, be like, "Bye, me, ma," and she just meets up with Pang.
No, she
and her
wouldn't say
friends.
bye me, ma. She would just go.
Yeah, she would just go with Pang and like be at the thing, lighting fires or whatever I is doing. As a kid, like she's a pyromaniac as a child. Like who knows what she was doing? But I can see I just going on her own and going to temple festivals. Bigger question is, did ever go? Was ever allowed to go to temple festivals? I would love to know that actually, because I'm assuming I just like snuck off as a kid, but like who knows what was doing?
So maybe really what you're saying is that just really needs her own show as well.
Yes, I am advocating so hard for that. I think there's a lot of potential to explore what life is, and I love her. Anyway, that's not the point of the scene, but yeah. May is a sheltered girl, which we do definitely get confirmation of. She's the princess locked in the tower. So that's a valid question from I, to your point.
And back to her like saying that she's worked on a flea market case before, I has the audacity to ask if May won or lost. And May's like, honey, I always win.
I know. What a stupid question. This is like you don't even know her. And honestly, like May's like, bitch, that's why I'm gonna win your heart, because I don't fucking lose. I'm
she
May.
Don't even have to try.
No.
She just wins no matter what.
She takes so many W's, except when she doesn't.
I then guides May to sit down, and then she kneels below May's level. And this is I giving May the power in like this whole situation. Like her whole goal about in this night is not about making it about herself. Her goal is purely making May feel confident in her surroundings right now. And I explains to May what they are doing here. She explains that this restaurant is similar to Ploy's, and she even called Ploy to get all the details. Like, she even talked to the person that she doesn't want to talk to just so she could set this place up to be as close of a replica as possible.
She talked to Ploy. We've all met Ploy. She willingly talked to Ploy. That's how much she loves May. Okay, that is love. Ploy.
And then that's what May asked. Like, May asked if she secretly talked to Ploy, and I was like, it wasn't a secret. Jan is friends with her on Facebook, and she connected them. I mean, technically, it was still a secret. You talked to her without May knowing.
No, I think that May is trying to be flirty here and being like, oh, are you going behind my back because you're interested in Ploy? And I was like, gross, ill, she's Ploy. I did this for you. Is that what this is?
But like, if Jan is friends with Ploy on Facebook, and that's how she gets connected to her. So the question is, if Jan was connected to Ploy on Facebook, wouldn't be as well?
That's my question. I'm like, here's the deal. Were they connected through or is it fortune telling? Because Ploy is also really into fortune telling. And so is that how she knows Jan? Because that would make sense to me.
I thought about that too, because especially because we're like, Jan is in our brain and this world because Jan's the only fortune teller we know of, so that has to be Ploy's fortune teller. But like,
well, yeah, I mean, I that was never confirmed, but like, I imagine that like Ploy would have heard of Jan or like seen Jan. Like, yeah, I assume Jan advertises on social media, like her business. So I wonder if Ploy came across it because Ploy lives in Karat, where or Korat, where her and May grew up, and so she remember was in Bangkok specifically for the fortune telling, and Jan practices fortune telling in Bangkok. So I just wonder if Ploy found Jan through her search for a fortune teller. Not necessarily was Jan her fortune teller, but like I feel like they're going to be in similar circles, and so maybe she knows of Jan's business. And if Jan had her phone number, they probably have connected, I assume, about fortune telling at some point. Because it's never really confirmed how much Ploy knew about to the point where like they had each other's number. Because like the thing is, I has cell phone, so she could have looked for Ploy's contact in phone. And if it wasn't there, and she probably has access to Facebook, so maybe her and Ploy weren't connected. But also the fact that like we'll learn later, or we've already learned that like May's dad was threatening but like he knew about and was threatening so it's possible for safety reasons that like wasn't friends with May's friends or wasn't friend with anything connecting her to May on social media that's public information out of a safety reason, because May's dad is insane. So there's also that. But Jan don't got that problem, because who's going after Jan? Jan thinks she's a detective.
true. Anyway,
So, yeah.
no matter what, that's how it happened.
No, let us know what you think. It's not confirmed. Like, how did Jan and Ploy actually know each other? What do you guys think about that? Leave it in the comments.
Great prompt.
Here's your challenge.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Your challenge has also come early in this episode.
Only you can come to the challenge.
Can complete the challenge. All right, so May is beaming at Ai's explanation for all of this, and I assume that like this is the first time anyone has gone out of their way to do something nice for May. And it shows that Ai really cares about her and knows her well enough to know that this is exactly what she needs to be confident, like enough to go to Ploy's restaurant. Like she needs to be able to know exactly like what her surroundings would be. Because like if she can predict that, then she's going to be able to focus on like she can focus her energy on dealing with her friends and whatever the hell they might do there, which is the main goal. And like she can't worry about what they're going to do if she's having to worry about navigating her surroundings. Because without knowing, like she might stumble and that could cause her friends to pity her even more, which would make her even more uncomfortable there.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's partially what's going on here. I think there's something else going on, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But that's valid because I does know that specifically about May. I just want to go back to the fact that Ploy and I had a conversation. Like, what the hell was that conversation even like? Like, what was that conversation like? What was I calling Ploy actually like? Because we've seen them interact. And it's like, what was that conversation like?
I like
Ploy's like, what the fuck are you calling me? Like, was Ploy hostile immediately?
How did it even like start? Because like, did I be like, all right, Ploy, I need a favor? And Ploy is probably like, what do you mean you need a favor? And stuff like that. And like, I wonder if Ploy made it more difficult, or if she's just like,
right. That's what I wonder, because I'm sure I came in there being like, listen, May wants to go. I'm going to try to convince her to go. I need your help with that. I think Ploy would be receptive to that. But did Ploy give Ai a hard time because she can? And it's Ploy, and Ploy has amnesia constantly in these scenes. I just am curious how much I had to go through to get this information from Ploy. Okay, but regardless of how it actually went down, the fact that I reached out to Ploy directly, to me, that's a major example of I taking Ploy's criticism to heart from episode 5 when they were having the lunch debacle, when Ploy accused I of being a terrible girlfriend because, quote, not knowing is not caring. So the fact that I reached out and was like, give me literally every single fucking detail about this restaurant so that I can recreate it for May. I hope that Ploy recognized that I was taking this advice to heart by learning every fucking thing about this restaurant because I care so much about May. Like, I hope that Ploy recognized that I was actually doing the thing she accused her of not doing.
I feel like I don't know. It's hard to know with Ploy because
Right.
she's like so knowledgeable one minute and then completely forgets it the next.
I know. She has amnesia. That's why I said, I hope, because you never know with Ploy.
But I also assume that she was more willing to help I because it did like selfishly benefit her as well. Because this is exactly what she wants to happen. So
Oh,
if
of
she
course.
can
Yes, of
make
course.
that happen, then like, yeah, here's all the details. Here's the dimensions.
Of
Go
course.
at it. You do the work.
Yeah. I just hope she kind of recognizes that like I is worthy of May. I think she does get there because when we actually get to the restaurant scenes in the next episode, Ploy seems to have changed her tune. So anyway.
I think at some point May definitely knock some sense into Ploy, which like knock it off. Because seriously, that first meeting did not go well. So back to this scene, I continues and like tells May that Jan and Pang helped to set this place up, and that's how she was able to accomplish it.
Which makes sense because I was not doing this shit on her own. And now, so we have confirmation that Jan and Pang are now properly in each other's orbits because the gravity of I, and the May situationship is so strong, they could not escape.
So strong. And May calls her so dramatic because I is making such a big deal out of everything and even involving other people. And it is a big deal because, like, this is I's way of showing her how much she cares about her and wants her to be able to achieve what she wants to do. But I tells her that she wants her to go and she wants to go too. And I think this will probably be another motivator for May to go because if I wants to go, then she just has to do it now because it's something that I wants to do. But why does I want to go? I I think that she fully wants to be part of May's life. And although like she's met
Part
Ploy.
of her world.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what I was singing when I wrote it.
I'm fairly confident. Knowing you.
Yeah. Although like I's met Ploy, she is still removed from like that side of May's life. She doesn't know fully. She's not in that world. Like she was still in May's house when she met Ploy. She doesn't see that side of May. And she also explains that she wants to see Ploy's dream that May is in. And so May is part of the reason that this restaurant even exists, which means it's just as part of May's story as it is Ploy's. And that's a story that I wants to know and experience because she wants to know all of May.
And truly, I saying I'd like to see Ploy's dream that has you in it is the cutest fucking thing she could have possibly said. And she's saying it like honestly, like this is what she feels. Because if you think about I and May's journey up until this point of the story has been mostly focused on May living in tandem with I as I pursues her dream, and I's dream of being a writer is reignited, and May has been supporting her through that dream and giving her the confidence to go after it, right? And so here's I doing exactly what Pang advised her to do, where she's telling May she wants to be a part of May's journey in achieving her dreams also. And that is an incredibly romantic gesture on I's part. It's more deep than being like, I just like you and your personality. It's more like I is saying, I want to live life with you and be part of even other people's journeys that have you in it, kind of thing. Like, that is so beautiful and deep. And again, Chow, how can you say these two don't know why they love each other? You're insane for that. Like, look at this.
They say it all without even saying it. And May asks I if I thought doing this would make her go to the opening. And I responds, apparently not. That's why I brought you here instead.
Yeah, and so this is where I have alternative thoughts about why I think I did this whole thing. I think I's actual motivation for doing this and recreating Ploy's restaurant and taking May to it is because she wants May to have the experience of, quote, being at Ploy's restaurant debut, even if May ultimately decides not to go, because I knows how much May wants to do it, but she's scared. Because think about this. I knew down to the number of tables and chairs what Ploy's opening night was going to be like. And then she replicated the exact same thing in this space. Okay. And May was so brutally honest with her the other night about her connection to Ploy's dream and why the real life experience of going to the debut terrifies her. So I think I did her best to recreate a pity-free experience so that at the very least May can have this recreated one, because she knows how much May was connected to that dream that her employee had that Ploy is now like living. So what I really wants to happen tonight is she wants for May to enjoy this and understand that I believes in her and supports her just like May's been supporting her this whole time. Remember she had the writer's block thing? She did that whole thing where she's like, well, this metaphor of like getting ready in the morning, help with me. Let's live that out. It's just the two of us. So you can get out of your writer's block or whatever. This is like I's version of that for May, because May doesn't have writer's block, but she has this fear of being pitied. And so she's like, look, you can be at the restaurant and experience it in a pity-free environment. So maybe that will inspire her to potentially do the real thing. And also I is leaving hints to be like, you won't be alone. You'll have me, just like you have me right now. But ultimately, like, she's not trying to like convince her. She's just like, it's your choice, May. And if you choose no, that's why I did this. So at least you would get the experience that you obviously want, free of all the pity. So I'm taking away the scary thing and giving you the experience you want, basically.
That's a really good point, and honestly makes this whole thing even cuter.
I know.
Because
I know. It's just
it's
everything
giving
about
her
it
the
keeps getting cuter.
that she wouldn't have gotten because of her fear.
Yeah.
It's everything.
I took her fear away and was like, here's the experience without the scary stuff, which is really cute.
Oh my god, it's so adorable.
It's so fucking cute. It keeps getting cuter.
Yeah, but the next thing that I does is purely for herself, because May can't see it.
Yeah, I know.
So I stands up and claps for the lights to turn on. And it's like the most dramatic thing that she could have done.
She's proving she's gay every time she does stuff because she's so dramatic.
It is. Okay, but like it's cool. But really to May, like I know she can like sense that like the lights are turned on.
Yes.
But it's really just eye clapping randomly.
Yes, it really is. She can't see the band. So it's literally just eye claps, the lights get real bright, and May's like, why did the lights change? Why did I clap? It's just I being dramatic, honestly.
So I lets May in on the fact that the band that she likes is also here. But she did not invite them because of pity. She invited them because they are artists. So she's like, I see them. They are artists. They don't even have to try to be. They are artists. And it just shows that like she was listening to May and really internalizing the conversation from the last part. Like, again, back to the act of listening. She internalizes everything that May says to her.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the other reason she picked the specific band, because her goal is to make to connect Ploy's restaurant debut to like what sparked this dream in the first place, which was the happy memories May had with Ploy in the Thai restaurant in the US when they were living there. And I think that that's why she picked this band, because May, May told her, I love this band. That's why I love coming to this place, because it reminds me of this time in my life. So I think she picked that band specifically too, because she knows how much they mean to May and the connecting experience to the restaurant. And I also love the fact that when I's explaining this, she crouches. So she's on May's level. Again, May can't see this. So this is just I doing stuff. And the body language really is reflective of I's feelings more so than May's benefit in this situation. So I think it's by I crouching and getting on May's eye level to have the conversation, it's I's way of expressing that she non-verbally that she wants to be May's partner, like an equal in their relationship, because it's been kind of one-sided in terms of like who's propping up who. And so this is the part where I's like, I can be someone you can rely on kind of thing. I can be your equal in this relationship situation. And also it's I expressing how much she loves May's eyes, because she loves staring at May's eyes like all the fucking time. Like if May could just see how much I stares at her eyes, like there would be no doubt of anything, because she's constantly staring at May's eyes.
It's incredibly valid. I then starts asking May if she remembers the first time they met. Yes, she does remember. She remembers a lot better than you do. But anyway, I keeps talking herself into a hole by saying that May kissed her. And like, again, I am sure that May and did not kiss the first time they met.
They did not. We do see that. May saves from sexual harassment the first time they met. There was no kissing.
Darn. So, anyway, it's just I being I, and
yes,
being
this is
a terrible spy.
But also it's I revealing the fact that she also does not remember their first actual meeting. So I wonder if over time May is like, this is concerning that she doesn't actually remember the first time we met.
Yes, because they did not even kiss.
No, they did not. Either way, there was no kissing the first time.
Because that's not typical for people to do. I mean,
May did do it in I's brain.
May did do it, but technically it wasn't the first time. It's just correct. It wasn't the first time for one person and the other person.
I just forgot the first time they met.
Oh my gosh. So May smiles, but it isn't like the same as the beginning of the scene. Like it's an empty smile at this point. Because May does remember, and she's sad because this means that I doesn't actually remember the first time they met.
No.
And this is a moment that she's been clinging to since it happened.
Yeah.
So it means, again, it's a moment that meant so much to her, but basically meant nothing to I.
It did not change I's life. No, exactly.
No. Eventually, May does smile big, and she lets out a small laugh. And I like to imagine that she's joking with herself about how ridiculous the situation is right now.
Yes.
Because
it is.
It is so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. Okay, and then as I was rewatching this, I just noticed during this part of the scene just how beautiful this location actually is that they picked. So, first of all, shout out to Jan and Pang, aka the set crew, because they did a hell of a job making this place look super romantic. And like in this particular part of the conversation where I's like, oh, remember the first time we met? If you look at the way the background is set up, it's like, it looks like space, where you kind of have like this warm light above May that kind of looks like a planet or like the sun or whatever. And then they have all these little like string lights that make it look like stars. And it kind of looks like these two are like in space together, which is very on brand for like the Pluto stuff. And it's really beautiful. Like the shot was really, really beautiful. And also, as I was thinking about this, where the fuck are they right now, actually? Like, what is this place? And how did I get a hold of it for the evening on short notice?
That is my question as well. I also keep wondering how the hell I can afford to rent out a place and hire a band.
Yeah, also valid.
Because, like, she was
Right.
struggling to pay for lunch.
Right.
And we don't see it hinder her at all. So it's not like she's trying to pay it off later or anything. So I'm like wondering, did Ploy end up helping her out here? Like maybe she offered because it would be beneficial for her as well?
I mean, that would make the most sense unless she somehow coaxed Pan and Jan into also helping her financially to put this together. Because
oh my god, money. Talk about ride or dies.
No, seriously. No wonder Peg's upset at the end of this because she's like, I shelled out like 1,000, like 2,000 baht or like whatever the fuck. Like I hung her up for. Like, yeah, no, seriously. How did I pay for all this? That's a really excellent point because I doesn't have money, which we've established in the show. Yeah, Ploy would make the most sense if she called Ploy and then like Ploy offered to be like, yes, because she wants May so badly to be at this opening because it was their dream together. So like, I wonder if like that was part of the conversation where Ploy's like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, no, don't do that. And then she's like, no, seriously, like you're doing me a favor. The least I can do is like, and she probably maybe knew this location and maybe Ploy helped them get the location. Like that would kind of make sense. But yeah, no, then this is all speculation because it all happens off screen. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Where are they and how did they get here? How do they have money for this? Anyway, so it's just
the answer is magic.
The answer is movie magic, but I just think it's funny to think about.
It is a great question.
Yeah.
Considering the characteristics we know of I.
Correct.
But moving on. I then asked May if she knows what kind of life their kiss inspired her to live. So like gay. This moment, their first meeting to I did mean a lot to her.
Oh yes.
So she is technically on the same level as May.
Yes.
But instead of telling May, she walks away from May, leaving May trying to figure out what is going on once again.
She does do the thing where she's like swiping her arm, like, where the fuck did I go? Like, because she keeps doing this.
Because we always have to point out when she's leaving May in the dark.
She keeps doing it.
And it's yet again. Because, like, she could have said anything. She could have said something mysterious and still, like, kept, like, this, like, surprise-ish thing in the air. Like, because, like, oh, God. What if May starts worrying that I's going to her car again to look for something for 2 days that she doesn't have?
I could just leave her in this random location. Yeah, got a lot of faith coming from May that I is nearby, even though she can't feel her right now. Okay, yeah. I is ridiculous because she keeps doing that. And poor May, because like, yeah, you're right. May never knows what is actually happening. And I has just disappeared on her before, so poor May. Okay, but can we talk about the fact that I is so hung up on the fact that May kissed her? Like, she's so hung up on that. Because we already know this, because when they were having the conversation of like, oh, you should post your story, I'll reward you. And I was like, I get to pick the reward. I want to kiss you, just like the first time we met. Like, we already knew she's hung up on this, like, because she told us. But then in this scene, I is explicitly telling May, our first kiss changed my whole life. That's what she's saying in the scene. And May processes that. And if you watch May, when I tells her this, she smiles because, like, damn, I is not only just a thirsty bitch like she thought she was in that other scene where they're like doing the reward system for the novel. This is I admitting she's like so completely head over heels for May because that kiss, not only does she want to kiss her again, it's just like it changed her life. Like, that's a lot. And also, May's a cheeky bastard. We all know this. So I think internally May's thinking, that kiss was the tip of the iceberg, guy. Just wait until we have sexy times because you're never going to want to leave me ever. And May knows this. Hence, the initial smile turns into a mischievous one at the end when she's having these thoughts. I'm fully on that train of thinking that that's where May's brain is right now. And she's like, oh, we're just getting started, girl. Like, the look on her face is so funny.
That would track because she is the mastermind and always one step ahead.
I mean, I think I is kind of a little mastermind with this whole thing she's doing right now in a way that's very impressive to May. Okay, and then to your point, what I doesn't know is that this sentiment that she's expressing to May is 100% reciprocated by May, because I changed May's life the actual first time they fucking met each other. Like, I changed May's life in the way that when I, quote, met May for the first time that she remembers, May changes the trajectory of her life. And the thing is, because like when they actually first meet, I encouraged May to learn how to fight in a way that worked for her, so May could defend herself and not rely on like female vigilantes to come save her, like is what happened. And then because I gave her that advice, May transformed into this formidable, quote, perfect person that I so like desperately in love with. So like it's funny the way they like impact each other's lives and then like transform into like the perfect partner for each other because of advice the other one gave them. It's kind of like very full circle relationship that Chow wrote and that doesn't know why the characters love each other. I'll never be over that because it just doesn't fucking make any goddamn sense. I'll never be over it. Chow doesn't make any sense. Look what you wrote.
But I love that you keep reminding us of it because
It's
it must
insane.
be remembered.
Never forget the insanity that was that. Never forget.
We also can never forget what happens next because boy is it amazing.
It sure is.
I begins to sing and she sings Somewhere Only We Know. And we're just going to go through this like it's a Taylor Swift song at the end of our episode.
You guys are used to this.
So the song starts, don't be afraid of past heartaches you've had. Just hold my hand and don't be sad. Step into a world that belongs to just us two and see how wide it can open up for you. Poetry, man. It seems pretty straightforward here. She's basically singing about how no matter what happened in the past, now they are together. The world is a new, bigger place for them to explore together. And as she begins to sing this next part, I walks towards May, and at one point, she's towering over her. And this is the first time in the entire scene that I has put herself on a higher level than May without immediately like meeting her and becoming an equal or putting herself below May. So just significant for what's about to happen.
Yeah, because like at the beginning of this, when I did the thing where she like left May on red, she like went onto the stage and then she's away from May and then she starts singing and then like leaves the stage and at this point is approaching May, who's still like sitting in front of the band because that's where like I put her, so she can be dramatic and do all of this stuff basically. Back to the lyrics though, we cannot ignore the link between quote forget your past heartbreaks. Because to me, that was So I is basically saying, without realizing it, forget about my twin. I'm here now. Focus on me. Poor I'm sorry. Poor is constantly getting shit on. Justice for Okay, other thing I just wanted to say, other than poor was that it's really sweet how instantly happy May is when I start singing. Like, I's on the stage singing, and May just, like, lights up. Like, it's so fucking cute. Because in what universe did May expect I to do this? Like, think about it. Your May, I takes you to this place, is like, there's bunting flags and 20 chairs and 20 tables and all these things, and then sits her down and is like, talking about Ploy's dream and shit, and then starts singing. What would you have been like? I left me to start singing? Because to your point, it'd be like, I just went to her car for 3 days. Like, that would make more sense than it's gonna serenade me in Ploy's
No, there could have been literally any possibility.
Yes.
Because it's not even established that I can sing.
That's what I'm saying. This seemed so out of character. Like, I love it. I'm not saying I don't love it. But from right, we didn't know she could sing. Like, how did we get here at all? How did we get to this location? Who paid for this? And then, like, since when can I sing professionally? Like, since when? It is not established that I knows how to sing at all in this show. So, yeah, like, there's no way in hell May could have predicted this, is what I'm saying. So, like, this is the ultimate surprise where, like, May gets out mastermind, because on what planet did she expect this to happen? Like, there isn't one.
I mean,
You know
it's
what I
just
mean?
continuing to be, because you've brought up multiple times that I is the unpredictableness in May's life. And this
Yes.
just is the epitome of unpredictable.
Yeah. When I does romantic gestures, they are incredibly unpredictable. Because again, the camper scene, we'll get to later. There's no way in hell May could have predicted that either. And like, it's wild. Go I'm with you on your romantic gestures, but like, I think that's fun for May that she can't predict I. That's part of that's like thrilling. That's exciting to be with somebody you can't predict. And again, why are we here? It's because I's doing all of this just for May. There is no other ulterior motive. It's literally just, she's creating all of this just for her. And like, smile real big, May. This is all for you. It's a big moment. I'm happy for you, is what I'm saying. Go, May. Enjoy this.
Seriously, I'd love to have someone sing to me and surprise me.
Seriously, get bunting flags and shit. Just kidding.
You're never gonna let go of the
I will
bunting
never
flags.
let go of that.
They made a real big impact on Theora, everybody.
Now I know what they mean.
So I continues to sing, leave behind the tears that used to fall, rise and follow your heart's call. And this is when I pulls May up to be on the same level as her. So she wants May to realize that she can rise to where she wants to be instead of staying in one place where it is safe and comfortable. It's a way for I to tell her that they don't have to just like stay in May's house where it is their sanctuary in her bedroom, and like they can take on the world that is so much bigger now that they have each other. And I also love how they showed this line, because as I is pulling May up, she's singing the line, follow your heart's call. And it's as if May's heart is pulling her towards I in that moment.
Yes. Yes.
And it's
yes.
so cute.
That is what is happening. Yes, yes, yes.
Then the song continues. There's beauty ahead, waiting for you to find. Just be brave and take this step with me tonight. And in terms of where we are in the show, I see this as I talking about how May wants to go to Ploy's restaurant, meaning like the beauty ahead. And she has the ability to see it like she wants to. Like all she has to do is be brave and just do it with I. Like tonight is the first step in reaching the goal of getting to Ploy's restaurant. But like in general, it just means she is telling May to forget the past and look to the future where she can be braver and do whatever she wants with I by her side. Like I is there to make her braver and be there for her. And as I continue singing, we get a match cut of I's hand in front of May's eyes, indicating that we're like transitioning of worlds, and we are now in a world where May can see and everything is bright. And the song continues, million stars are shining, casting light on us, mountains and oceans filled with love and trust. Good or bad, where we are, it doesn't matter, as long as you're here with me now and forever, somewhere only we know. And after the line, as long as you're here with me now and forever, May and I are now in white outfits that are very reminiscent of what, they would wear on their wedding day. Like a day that would symbolize forever. And then like the song just continues on and they look so happy and carefree, and it's very, very cute.
It is. It's super, super cute. It's random that it's here, I will say, because it's not established that I can sing. But I'm here for it. I don't care. Maybe she does karaoke at night with Paying and her friends. Like, who knows? But anyway, I think what I is trying to communicate with the song is that she wants May to dream again. Because that was Pang's advice, right? Like, make her believe. And more specifically, because that's why I was like, when you kissed me, it changed my life. And the thing that it changed for her is it made her dream again. It inspired her to dream. And I think I is trying to give May that experience here. So when I is doing this, I think specifically I wants May to dream with her. And that's what this whole song is really about, right? Because a dream is a type of belief. It's like a hope. It's not a concrete thing. It's a type of belief, right? In something you can achieve or something in the future. Just a hopeful belief, basically. And I think this song, like the lyrics you went over, in combination with the choreography, both in reality when they're here in this restaurant and in this quote dream that we transition into where they're wearing the white outfits, etc. To me, it reads like I is May's guide through this fantastical journey with the ultimate goal of getting May to dream, believe in herself and dream again, basically. And it's almost like I is singing the dream into existence. And May can see the dream with I as her guide, hence the dream sequence we get, because it's already been established in the show that May has always been able to vividly imagine and feel I's words when she's describing shit, hence the dream sequence that we get when I is singing this dream thing into reality, right? So what I love is the transition lines into the dream space, which you brought up, which is there's beauty ahead waiting for you to find. Just be brave and take this step with me tonight. To me, that's I telling May to dream with her starting right now. Because after she says those lines or as she's saying them, that's when we transition into the dream sequence. And the way they do it, I love the way they shoot it. So basically, in the restaurant that they're in, we get I's point of view, which is where she has her hands over May's eyes, and I is looking forward in the same direction May is looking. Eyes behind May, got her hands on over May's eyes, and she's looking forward, and I looks happy and hopeful, like somebody who's dreaming. Whereas May, with her eyes covered, looks like in awe because she's making this choice to dream with I right now. Like she doesn't know what to expect in the dream kind of thing. She's just making the choice to go into that fantastical dream space, right? And then they are literally transported into the fantastical dream space when I pulls her hand away. And then we transition from I's point of view to May's, which is the dream space. And in the dream space, May's vision is restored. Okay, which is interesting, right? It's a dream. Of course, May would want her vision back in the dream. And the first angle we get when I's pulling her hand away, we can also see that I's other hand is resting along May's waist, which means that in like reality, that's what I was doing, which I think is important in the real world where May can't see and can't see what I is doing. It's a way for I to be like, I'm here guiding you, like be brave with me. So it's like the nonverbal way to show her that because she can't fucking see. Also, other thing right away that we know, because you mentioned they're wearing these like dresses that are white colored, they look like wedding dresses. On May's dress specifically, she has a single pink flower on the neckline. And to me, it looked like a rose the way it's layered, which to me connects to the single red rose that I gifted her. So in a way, it's like I's love brought May the gift of this dream they're about to have, and through the song. And what's the first thing that May does when she is in the dream space? Once first she's like, "Oh my god, I can see," and then the first thing she does is she spins around and looks at I, because May has been waiting literal years to see I with her own two eyes, and that is the first thing she does when she is in the dream. Once she realizes she can see, and this is my favorite part of this whole dream sequence because the way May looks at I and really takes the time to fully look at I. Like she looks at her up and down, like fully look at her. And I is patiently standing there watching May really look at her. And like to me, this is the perfect encapsulation of their mutual longing to see each other and be seen in return. And that's like to me part of their real dream in real life is like that's what the thing that they've both been seeking, and then they give each other that, right? And here it is in the dream. I love that I also isn't that patient. Like she lets May do that, but then also while May's looking at her, she's like slowly invading May's personal space until their foreheads collide. And while they're locked in this embrace, the camera angle switches. So at first, you're mostly focused on May because May's the point of view character when we come into the dream space. And then they reverse shot it. So we get I as the main point of view character. So I think that this is an indicator of a point of view switch. So we're getting into a glimpse of I's version of the dream, because they're dreaming this dream together while the song's going on, right? And if you notice, like between the cuts, May's hand placement is slightly different between the cuts, which obviously could just be like a difference in takes when they're filming, obviously. But for the purposes of my shared dream metaphor, I'm going with this as an indicator of a point of view switch. So while we're in I's point of view, they're still in that position where their foreheads are together. And I does this thing where she has her eyes closed and takes a very deep breath. So it's like she's having real big feelings at this part of the dream, and in this moment is savoring it because finally May can see her, right? And like I'm sure she also has wanted that too. And so she just like savors this moment with that deep breath and feels those feelings. And then she makes eye contact with May. That is reciprocated because May reacts because she can see. And then she takes May's hand and leads her into the dream space that they then explore together. So she's like, take that step with me. Let's go explore this dream. So that's what they actually do in the dream space. Then we go through this montage, to your point, where they're like dancing and having fun and doing all this stuff. And there's several outfit changes and location changes. Like they're like in a field and they're in space. Like they go all over the place in this dream. And what doesn't change is May's like happiness as she's having this dream with I. Like it's the happiest we've ever seen May, like just in this dream. And she's just loving the experience of all of this. And then if you notice I throughout the dream, I's focus is May. It's not really the dream environment. Like, yeah, she like participates in it, but she's always coming back to May and seeing what May's doing. So it's like while May's having this fun dreaming again, I is mostly having fun watching May like, have fun. Like that's her experience. Because again, that's the purpose of why I is doing this. It's to let May dream again. And she's happy that May is dreaming again. And I think they demonstrate that well in this part of the sequence. And something else that I find interesting about the dream in general is that once we get into the dream spaces, I's clothing is really interesting. So we like obviously of the two of them, like May is the more like she's a dress girly. Let's put it that way. Like we've very consistently, she's a dress girly. But we know from like wedding that I isn't. And then a lot of her outfits in the dream are dresses. So my question is like, it's a shared dream. So like, is this May conjuring outfits for I? And is I just like, well, this is how May sees me. I'm just going to go with it. She's having fun. Or is this I being like, she's really happy in this dream space with May that she's like willing to explore this side of women's fashion in the dream space? Because if you think about I, it's very probable, based on what we know about I, that I has never had the means to afford clothing like this that she's wearing in the dream, or a reason to wear them because she's a DoorDash driver. Like, why would she ever be wearing a dress? Like, it's not like she goes to an office. Like, why would she wear them? I think her only opportunity is things that are infrequent, like weddings, for example. So it's possible that like I might have wanted to try wearing this type of clothing, but was never had the opportunity, money or otherwise, to do it. So in the dream space where like I's creating this environment where like May can dream, like maybe I is also like taking the opportunity to explore new possibilities, not only because they're in a dream, but also because like May makes her feel brave and so she's doing it. And like that's another reason for these wardrobe changes. Just food for thought.
I mean, I love all of those things. But yeah, I mean, I don't it's hard because we see I in real life all the time just in her day to day, not really what her wants are other than her dream of writing. But it's definitely possible that she could want to just like try it out. Maybe she doesn't like it, but like at the end of the day, it's like if May likes it, I'll dress.
Right, that's what I mean. So like, it could be that May is conjuring the clothes, and I's like, I'm into it because you're into it, or it's like I subconsciously is like, let me try this out. May seems to like me in it, cool kind of thing. Because like yeah, like later, like we get the last episode where she's trying to pick out the outfit for her like book signing, and she's like, this is what my editor sent me, and this is what I picked out. And Oom's like, do what you want, girl. And then she picks the one she picked out, which is like the lesbian outfit, obviously. And then, but then when they get married, she gets married in like a huge dress. So like Who knows? We don't get into that side of I, but like, so maybe this is like she's exploring in her gender expression, like, which is valid.
Yeah.
Don't mind that at all. Okay, so they wove this particular song and elements of their music video into this show, but there is an extended version of it, like the full OST. Did you watch it, Caitlin?
I did.
Thoughts?
I just love the song. There was a lot of Nam Tam singing to the camera too, which I love. Just her performing.
It was great.
It was great.
It was great. She has a great voice, I will say. She's a very good singer. I enjoy hearing her sing.
I love the song. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that I can sing because we got this.
Yeah. So like you said, because this is a music video, just a couple of things about the OSTs. If you haven't, go listen to it and watch it. It's amazing. So because in the music video, there's obviously more time. There's more scenes of, like you said, I singing this song to May, because like we very quickly like transition into the dream space in the show and we just kind of hang out there. But there's more scenes of just what's going on in real life while the dream space is happening. And there's obviously the scenes where just like Nam has to kill time and she's just on stage doing whatever. And she's clearly having fun and it's fun to watch. And this is where I kind of like, from watching this is where I kind of like connected the dream stuff and why I went so hard on that when talking about it. Because like when you watch the OST music video, like it became really clear by like what I was doing on stage that I think she was trying to like manifest this dream for May, because she'll do things where she's on stage and she's like waving her hand in like arcs and stuff, almost like she's trying to paint a literal picture to somebody who's blind. So to me, it was almost like she's trying to paint the picture of this thing she's talking about. So it seemed very like conjuring a dream to me. And then also like in the dream space where I is like having fun but concentrating mostly on May, when they're shooting the video and you just see her singing it, it's the same exact thing. Her entire focus is May while she's singing the song. Granted, there's nobody else in the audience, but like still, like that is her main focus. And I will say my favorite moments from the music video are when she starts doing the air guitar, which was funny. And then the very end, this cheeky bitch ends it by breaking the fourth wall and winking at the camera. She didn't need to do that. I wasn't ready for that.
Okay. So I was ready for when that. She did that, all I could think of, man, that had the same effect as the Kelly Clarkson wink at the camera.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn you. Damn you.
Yeah, I loved it. I don't know if this was I or Nam Tam.
I choose to believe the latter. Yeah, this was Nam Tam.
I love you. I love you, Nam Tam.
It was great. So yeah, check out this full song. It's a great song. The music video is lovely. If you want more Nam Tam, go watch the OST video.
All right, so after the song, I and May lesbian forehead touch, just like they did in the dream world.
They did. And honestly, this was such a contrast, like coming out of the dream world, like how I executes this, because I very slowly and very gently transitions out of holding May from behind, because that's how the song ends. And then she like gets in front of her and then they do the forehead touch. And I think that May was a little swept up in this dream because she very quickly like wraps her arm around I's neck. Like she doesn't do the I'm tracing your arm with my fingers thing. Like her movements were more similar to what she was doing in the dream space, versus I was a lot slower and carefuler than the dream space situation. So it was a very contrast, like sharp, we're back to reality by how they moved.
That's true.
And it's cute that like May's movements were more like she's still in the dream, which means I achieved her goal. And then they start having this conversation while they're in this forehead touch. And honestly, like the tight shot that they have of them in the embrace where it's just their foreheads, I love that shot, the way they did it. Like, I don't know how long it took to line this up, how still these two had to be to like execute this, but it's a really good shot.
And it's very intimate, letting us in on their private moment. So intimate.
Because remember, the band is there. They're not, this is like Glee. They're furniture. They're just in the background. There are people in this room with them.
That's true.
And then what I tells May is really so fucking cute, where she tells May, quote, "You made me realize that everyone can be at their most beautiful in the way they are and choose to live." So basically, like, what I is saying is like May it's how she feels, which is that May chose to love her for exactly who she is. May chooses to see the beauty in the eye the way no one else does. When everyone tells her, "Oh, you're not good enough," May's like, "You do all these things. What are you talking about? How can you not be good?" And May doesn't try to mold I into someone else or try to craft her into this version of a girlfriend that she wants or whatever. And I has never been loved like that before, and that's what she's telling May. Like, that was the big revelation really she had from, their kiss and, like, spending time with May. The way May just, like, loved her immediately, unconditionally from the kiss. That's why I was always like, when she's talking to Pang and she was like, "No, but there's real love behind that kiss that I got from her." And that's the thing she's really fixated on. It was this unconditional love that she felt, and she's never felt that before. And now that she spent time with May, she's able to contextualize like what that feeling was. It was the fact that like May just loves her for who she is. And like that was very profound to I. And like I've mentioned many times, I's never had that before. People are always trying to tell her you need to change, you need to do something else, you need to do that. May doesn't do any of those things. And so, why are we here right now with this like lesbian forehead touching? We're here in this moment because I is trying to love May the way May loves her by showing and telling May, "I love you just the way you are." Basically, like, you see me and I see you, and I like what I see, and I'm not trying to change you. Like, she's not here to change May's mind about going to the restaurant or none of that stuff. She's basically here to tell May, "I think your dreams are beautiful, and I want to be your supportive girlfriend while you achieve them."
My heart, man.
I
It's
know.
so
It's
beautiful.
so fucking romantic. Her romantic gestures are really fucking romantic and cute.
It's so elaborate too.
She's dating an artist. This is what artists do. The artists have big feelings. Go May. That's why May's like into artists. I get it, girl.
Valid. Okay, so then I tells May that she really wants to go so she can show off her beautiful girlfriend.
God damn it. I fucking swoon for Ioun in this fucking scene. Jesus Christ. Okay, other thing, besides that fucking line, God damn it, I put that in your novel. I also find it significant that at this point we're not in the tight shot anymore. We've gone out a little bit, we zoomed out a bit. I also find it significant that while they're having this conversation, May and like I purposely remains on May's eye level. Like they're not forehead touching anymore. They're just she's like hunched over a bit, so they're at eye level. Because I think again she's trying to be equal with May and also be as close as physically possible. Because that's just I's mo. Let's be honest.
Yeah, she has to be as close as possible.
I
Like
mean, this is
that's
a very intimate thing she's saying, so it also makes sense. It fits the mood, fits the words they are saying, or she's saying.
very true. And then May always has to be the cheeky one.
Yes.
And she tells I that she sings well, but asks her if she'd practice slow dancing because there's definitely going to be a slow dance at Floyd's restaurant. And I wonder, again, the mystery of the conversation with Ploy. Did Ploy
Seriously.
let I in on this detail? Or, like, is May just guessing? And, like, but I think at this point, this is also May relenting and confirming that she will go to the restaurant with I.
Yes. No, this is May saying, "I'm going with you, I, so you better wear your dancing shoes." That's basically what she's saying. You've
And I
convinced
want to
me.
hold you tight while we
Literally.
dance.
Yes. She's like, "I also want to show you off to all my idiot friends and just be your girlfriend in life." Let's be
And May
honest.
responds, yeah, let's be honest. May
Let's be
responds,
honest.
uh, May tells I that she is amazing because May tells I that she's amazing because she is.
She definitely is. And then I visibly melt by doing the forehead touch thing again because she can't even. And also, like, again, she just cannot help but like gather up all the physical affection because this is a love-starved human being or touch-starved human.
She has a lifetime of starvation.
Correct. She eats well when she's with May. We'll just say that.
She's got lots of years to make up for,
So
so
many.
hope you're ready, May.
Yes.
So this was a very elaborate plan for I. And luckily, I's not the one who has to clean it up.
No, apparently
because
not.
she has wonderful friends. And so Jan and Pang are the ones that are left to clean up everything.
Aye.
So they get to set up and clean up.
And possibly pay for it, because we don't know.
Yeah, true. And Pang doesn't seem too thrilled about this.
No.
So she's probably all in on the, like, okay, we'll help you. Like, she got over the fact that she was in love with I. She's like, all right, fine. But yeah, sure, I'll help you get no, she already has the girl, but like,
I'll
help you with
look
this
past the fact
gesture.
that this is insane and you're dating Oom's girlfriend pretending to be Oom and help you, I. And then I was like, great, can you stay late and like also take it down? She's like, what the fuck? You're the worst friend ever.
They didn't get to like observe in the background either. They only got to come for the setup and cleanup.
But they could have, because May can't see.
Those two would be like snickering in the background, making jokes.
Videotaping this.
Yeah.
For when May can see. They should have videotaped it.
They should have.
They should have.
May would have loved that.
I know. Would not have, but they would have loved it.
Yeah.
This is what my sister's doing. You're dating her better than I was. Fuck you,
like, while I was in a coma?
Yeah. In front of my coma. God damn it.
Okay, but Pang is still there helping. Because she is I's ride or die.
Yes.
And Pang mentions that I left her friends to clean up afterward. And I thought it was very interesting that she said her friends, because that means Jan is starting to be considered a friend of I's, which I just love, because I feel like this means that Oom and I can bond more later if they are all closer. But again, like, there's so much happening while Oom is in this damn coma.
Seriously. We missed out on a lifetime.
Because, like, not only is her girlfriend that she did give away, moving on with her sister,
whom she consented to, but then will not remember this later. Yes.
No.
But
we don't know. Consent to this. She doesn't know that she won't remember later.
No, she doesn't know that.
But, like, her best friend is getting closer to her sister.
Yeah, that also sucks. But I also wonder, like, that's Pang reading into the fact that Jan is here. I don't know that that's actually why Jan is here, because Pang will put together in the next episode why Jan is actually doing this, because Jan is Oom's ride or die. Jan is here for Oom. That is why Jan is actually here. Because we will come to find out that Oom did want May to go after I. And so Jan is helping to make that happen, because that's what Oom wants. So, like, as a side effect, are Oom and Jan becoming friends actually is a good question. I don't know. Maybe. I like your thought that maybe this is a hope that they can all be friends one day.
I'm just, because there's so much experience now shared between all of them. I mean, again, Oom's kind of left out here, but
also it revolves around Oom is the thing. Like, again, Jan is here to fulfill Oom's wish. They were bonding over what happened to Oom. It's all Oom centered, all of I and Jan's interactions. But that's what I mean. Like, as a consequence of them bonding, did they bond over Oom is the question. Because, like, Oom is the crux of why Jan and I keep interacting, even here when it's not obvious. Because Pang later will be like, why the fuck are you doing this? And that's when Jan reveals the truth of, I also knew all along. Everybody knows except you and I what's actually happening. They have that conversation at, like, the next episode, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they do. Can't wait to get to that.
Yes.
Anyway. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Getting closer to Oom. Anyway, let's keep going.
So Pang then questions what kind of friend I is. And instead of answering that, Jan's like, I'm not answering that. She tells Pang what kind of person she is instead. And I love how nonchalantly Jan is like, so you're an Aries. Just randomly.
Again, she's that gay. She's the astrology gay.
And good for her. And this piques Pang's interest.
This is hilarious.
Because she turns around to put her full focus on Jan and asks how she knows that. And this makes Jan turn around to give her full attention to Pang. And like during this, like Pang was like doing the bunting, they were putting stuff away, and they're like, no, screw the cleanup. This is more important. So Jan gives her full attention to Pang and tells her that she's a fortune teller. And Pang looks surprised by this for a brief second, and then before she like crosses her arms and asks if she's accurate. So she's on guard, like defensive. She doesn't believe Jan, anything that she says.
She's being called out right now. Of course she's defensive.
Yes. And Jan pretends to think for a moment before she like completely characterizes Pang as sweet and kind, and that she likes to keep things to herself by not expressing or talking much. So like pretty accurate. And Pang also looks quite impressed by this. And she's like, damn, that is me. But then Pang questions if Jan knows that just by looking at her. And Jan's like, I know it because we wouldn't be here helping I clean up if you weren't.
Yeah, this situation is ridiculous. Nobody would do this unless they loved the other person.
So yes, you were sweet and kind. However, I'm surprised that she got the like not expressing or talking much, because she was over here talking a bunch about how like she can't believe I is making her clean up.
But also, isn't Jan backhand complimenting herself, where she's like, well, if you weren't sweet and caring, you wouldn't be here. Like, I am here. That's also that.
Yeah, because she's like, Jan. You wouldn't be here.
Right.
It's like, I am...
Yeah. Being like, just in case you're wondering, I'm also sweet and kind because I am here, right? You can see me.
She's a self-aware, confident, big gay energy bitch.
So much big gay energy. I don't blame you, Pang. Go get her. Just, I hate that it's at the expense of Officer Hottie. That's the thing I hate. I'm not mad at these two. I'm mad at Officer Hottie getting fucked over by this.
Yes.
That part makes me mad. But yeah, that was really fucking funny. These two.
And at this point, Pang's arms are still crossed. So she's still in full defensive mode. And she tells Jan that she can also be a fortune teller. And apparently, a fortune teller is just synonymous with being observant, because Pang tells Jan that she is strange and suspicious. Great job, Pang.
I love that's Pang's initial impression. She's like, you're fucking weird. That's what she's saying. She's like, you're fucking weird, man. But I'm into it.
You are.
You are. We're all into it.
And then she questions Jan's true intentions.
Which is valid.
Yeah.
Right. Valid.
Question everybody in the show.
Yes.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Because then you'll find out that something that I doesn't know.
And also Pang.
Yeah. Gosh. Pang says Jan is Oom's close friend, and she was worried sick when Oom got injured. And she then gets to the point by asking why she is helping I, because Jan could have just given I Ploy's phone number information and be done with it.
Correct.
And if she didn't before, Jan looks hella suspicious now. Like, her face, like, she's shifty-eyed, and, like, all confidence that she had is gone.
Right.
Jan knows a lot more.
Right. Because, like, Pang is, like, Pang was the best detective on the show, because she's like, I know why I'm here. I'm here because I'm I's ride or die. Why the fuck are you here? Because you are Oom's ride or die. And why you, as Oom's ride or die, why are you here supporting I getting with May?
Yeah.
When I is pretending to be Oom and you know that. You know what I mean? That part
That is
is
very
weird.
true.
Like, because it is weird.
Yeah, you
Just
know
like,
what? Maybe Pang is the ultimate
I think
detective.
she's the best detective because she calls out a lot of this bullshit that's happening. Very observant. But yeah, anyway. So like, yeah, and then that ends because these two actually need to have an actual conversation, but we'll get there. First, we have to get the rest of this and also May. But yeah. Go Pang for being hella suspicious immediately. Okay, but something I want to talk about, are you done with your part?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I just want to very quickly talk about how this scene was shot between Pang and Jan and how it ties back to the concept of these two orbiting each other that I brought up a long time ago, 500 years ago when we first started talking about Pluto. So here's the deal. Like, this is not the first time um, they've interacted, like the scene that we're watching, because I told somebody, was it May? I told May that these two, quote, helped put this whole thing together. At this point, they're breaking it apart. And by put it together, I assume I means that Pang and Jan did everything, because let's be honest. Let's be honest. So now we're at the end of the evening when they're breaking everything down. So they've interacted before, but I anticipate that like I was there with them and now they're unsupervised doing this. Okay. And this is the first time we as the audience are watching Pang and Jan interact. This is the first time we're seeing them. So as I've pointed out before, Pang and Jan have been orbiting each other the whole time without realizing it. And now they finally gravitate to each other. And I like the way it's shot because it really demonstrates that really nicely in my head. Particularly by the way they block them in the scene. So to your point that you brought up, when we first enter the scene of Pang and Jan, it's this like wide shot or far away shot, not a wide shot, like a far away shot of like basically Pang and Jan working at opposite tables, facing opposite directions, and like breaking down this room that they've rented. Okay. And this shot is the furthest away we are to the two of them in the whole scene. So it's like we're coming in observing them working in the same space, but they're not interacting directly with each other. And this has been their dynamic all along, where they're like near each other. They're interacting with the same people, like I and Officer Hottie, but they're not directly interacting with each other. Right? Remember when Officer Hottie goes to get the kanji by Pang's apartment or where the fuck they were, and she runs into Jan. So it means that like they're near each other, they're not interacting, but a third person is connecting them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what's happening here. They're here because of I, the third person, but they're not directly interacting. They're just doing stuff in their own space. Then after we get this establishing shot of them in the scene together, the camera zooms in closer and we get like a medium shot. And first it's Pang, who's the focus character, who, like you described, was like muttering to herself, being like, God, my friend is the worst. And again, like this is normal, okay, because it's Pang in her own little world, just like muttering to herself. But what's different now is that Jan is physically close enough to her that she can engage directly with Pang if she chooses to. Which of course she does because Jan's a nosy bitch. So she hears that and she's gonna be like, I want to comment on this. And so she does, like, without like touching Pang or doing anything, she starts talking to Pang, but they're still facing opposite directions in the beginning. But then the camera angle switches so that Jan is now the focus and Pang is blurry in the background. So when Jan starts talking shit, Pang chooses to engage with her, and you see out in the background, Pang turns to look at Jan. Okay. So the focus is still Jan, but Pang is the one who's then coming into Jan's orbit. Like she makes that choice. And when she does that, then the camera angle changes to Pang and both of them are in focus now that they're face to face. So to me, that was a nice visual way with like focusing and unfocusing and how they kind of shot this to show that these two are very much gravitating in real time, and the impact of their collision into each other's lives for real is pretty profound. So profound that everything's in focus when they finally see each other. So it's kind of like an epiphany moment, whether they realize it or not. And I love, 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 love that.
I love that you got all of that out of that scene. I'm sad that I didn't see those shots. So that was great.
I mean, the orbit thing that comes from Chow, and that was a brilliant thing. I'm not shitting on Chow and her writing so much, but like the orbiting thing, she did play around with in the novel, and like GMMTV took it to another level when they added more of these characters and gave them more scenes, and I just love it because that was so instrumental to like the Pluto story at its core. And so to me, that kind of like was a good visual of how they're kind of doing that. Was that their intention or not? I have no idea, but that's how I choose to read it, knowing that that concept is played with a lot of these characters. And so
No
I love
matter
that.
what, it's art and it can be interpreted that way. So,
Yes, that is how I choose to read the scene.
and with that, we head to another scene over at May's house, where we get an establishing close up shot of a light outside the house, which I just thought was a very interesting choice to establish that we were there.
I know. They have some really random shots of May's house, and they're like, by the way, we're at May's. And like sometimes it's like, here's some candles. Where do you think we fucking are?
Yeah,
And then they'll be like, here's
establishing.
this light outside. We're at May's. And I'm like, but it's just, you never showed me the full shot of that. So how would I know? Anyway, their choices are
Yeah,
made sometimes.
establishing shots are usually extreme wide shots,
Right.
showing you the entire area where you're about to be. This was
This was
not
not
that.
that. Yeah. At least they had to take a break from rack focusing on stuff, those particular
Yeah.
candles.
They're like, you have to have at least one establishing non-rack focus
Correct.
shot.
Yeah. We just have the one. Here's the quota. So they're like, fuck you. Here's a light. Whoever editor directed this was pissed off and was like, fuck you. Here's this light. Happy now? I
Oh my
guess.
gosh. In the actual scene, though, the maid hands a shirt to May for her to pack, and May then dismisses her, and I'm sure she's so excited to get
Yeah,
out.
she's like, fuck you guys. Bye. Yeah. She's got actual things to do with her life.
Meanwhile, the council's here by her side, not being as helpful as the maid was.
No, the maid would have been
Because
a
at
much
least,
better counsel than this guy. Let's be
yes,
honest. Again, May. Missed opportunity was not teaming up with the maid.
I honestly would love. I love a mini-sode of just what the maid was doing
Yes.
throughout this whole show.
This whole show from her point of view would have been hilarious. Especially the oh man, she wasn't there for the bug thing. That would be really, really funny. Oh, but she comes home in the aftermath of the bug stuff, and she's like, "What the fuck happened?" Anyway, that's not important right now. We're back with the council in May.
All right. So the council, aka Tan, can't believe that May is taking I to meet her friends because she never introduced to her friends before this all happened, which is huge. Like
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Aren't you worried that I will find out your secret?" And like he even offers to take her if she wants to go. Of course, she immediately rejects that because she doesn't want to go with Tan. Like that's not why she's going.
Who would?
She, um yeah, so she immediately rejects that, and May's like, she is worried, but I said that she wanted to show off her girlfriend, and how could she say no to that?
Seriously.
And May literally says, if I don't go, then I'd be so mean. And she looks so happy about this line. But Tan does not look as thrilled as May does.
Well, this
It's
is May
hilarious.
finally getting to brag at the fact that I's into her. Because she can't actually brag about that to anybody, and he actually knows the full scope of what's happening here. So she's like, I said that she's super into me, and I can't turn her down when she's romantic and shit. Look what she did. It's so cute. And Tan's like, for fuck's sake, this ridiculous shit you're still doing. So I think that's why he's like, aren't you worried about the secret getting out? Because I think the secret he's referring to is that I is not and we all know that except I. And so I think they're worried that I is going to come to this conclusion before like May's ready to like tell her, or I's ready to tell her, or whatever. And he's like, girl, get your head out of your ass. Because like May is funny here to your point. She just looks just as lovesick as I did. I remember Pang was being like, oh my God, I wish I had a lime tree right now because I can't with you. You're gross. How sweet you are on this girl. I think that like Tan is having the same reaction where he's like, I wish I had a lime tree right now because I can't with this fucking sweetness wafting off of you. It's gross.
Yeah, I feel
which is
like,
valid.
not that I want this scene, but I think Pang and Tan would bond over the ridiculousness of these two.
Seriously.
Uh, and then this is when Tan points out that before May lost her sight, she never introduced the old to anyone.
All right, and this was another one of those lines in the show that made me question what the fuck was and May's relationship? Because they dated for a while, like a while, and apparently only Tan, Ploy, Jan, Mima, and like May's dad were in the loop about this relationship. Like, how and why? And then here's Tan with this line suggesting that like May purposefully didn't introduce to anyone. So like what the fuck were they doing while they were dating? It's almost like they had a
I
closeted relationship. It was kind of weird.
Honestly, I think that this says just as much about May's relationships with her friends as it does with her relationship with because like it's indicating that her friendships are very surface level as well, and like maybe like May only lets select people into her actual life.
That's fair.
And like this is before she even becomes blind. So this is just something that she does naturally. Like she
That's fair.
and also you see the friends, like they're very surface level people. Later, we'll get into them in the next episode.
Yeah, that's valid. Just I just still don't understand what the hell and May were actually doing in their relationship. And it makes less sense the more information I get. It's like the Willow song. The more that you say, the less I know. That's like me and my contextualization of and May dating each other. Just the more information, the less I understand it. Anyway, so May reveals that when she was with the real she got a sense that she was in love with this version of from the past that didn't exist in the present. Ding, ding, ding. But now that she spent so much time with she's 100% confident that this is the she has been looking for all along. And just writing that sentence made me think of Star Wars in A New Hope, where Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke are trying to leave Tatooine and they ride up to Mos Eisley and they got the droids C3PO and R2D2 and they're like wanted by the Empire, the droids, and like he has to like mind trick them and be like, these are not the droids you're looking for. It's like this is not the you've been looking for. That's just what it made me think of. And like honestly, if this Jedi Master showed up and just cleared things up for us, we would not have been here talking so much about all this drama and trauma between the two of them, because she could have just cleared this shit up. This wasn't the she was looking for.
I love this random thing. I've never seen this, but I know the
What?
reference.
It's like a
Um,
classic Star Wars movie moment.
is it the first one?
Yeah, A New
I don't
Hope,
know.
episode
Oh, then
4,
maybe
the actual first
I
movie.
did see it. I've only seen one Star Wars.
These are
I
not the
did see
droids
it
you're looking
because
for.
I don't remember it though.
This is
My
not
dad
the
forced me to watch it.
This is not the
Anyway,
you're looking for.
thank you. Thank you for the reference. I love it. It was perfect. Right after May says, "Even though I can't see, I know she's the one." She zips up her luggage, and the timing of the zip and like the confidence that she has when she closes it, because she zips it very fast. It's not like a slow one, and you can hear it. It's very loud. It indicates that like there's confidence behind her words.
Oh yeah.
And because this case is closed, literally, and she is 100% certain that this I is who she, well, that I is who she belongs with.
Yeah, exactly. So finally, we get the big reveal that May is in love with Ioun because she literally says it out loud. Finally, fucking finally. And now that we've
Finally.
gone through this entire show with not entire, halfway through the show with a fine tooth comb, it is incredibly obvious that May knew this because I is a terrible spy and she outs herself so many times. And I swear in some of these scenes, it's like I is trying to out herself on purpose so that the cosplaying can just end because she doesn't have the courage to end it herself.
Yeah, it's again, I brought this up a couple times, but I went back to the reaction video because I was like, I want to know what our reactions were to this moment, and basically, like we were like, will they, won't they? You were suspicious the entire time. Apparently, I had a running thing about I May knew all along. This is why I'll continue to say my theories out loud, no matter how crazy they are. But this is mostly just for me to say, go check out the reaction videos if you haven't yet. Also, side note, apparently Officer Hottie's nickname was originally Officer Mick Hottie. I didn't remember that.
I don't remember that. She Officer Hottie.
But you said Officer Mick Hottie a lot. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so boom, May knew all along. So finally, we get that revealed. So we're clearing this up slowly and surely, but I still doesn't fucking know anything. So then after that conversation with Todd, we cut over to I unveiling May's fancy as fuck car by taking, I don't know, the cloth off of it. And this car probably costs more than the house I don't own, and for sure it costs more money than I's ever earned in her life.
Oh my god. That's a lot of money.
So much money, okay? And I's reaction is, I'm too poor to drive this. I think that's basically I's reaction to seeing the car. Because they're about to go to Karat, and May's probably like, I got this, I just come on over. And she sees it, she's like, I don't even think I'm worthy of looking at this car. Like, it costs too much money. And May insists that it's fine because she trusts I more than anyone, which is basically why she's like, it's cool for you to drive my fanciest fuck car because I trust you. Which honestly, this is another one of those like relationship milestone things, because it's like she's entrusting her partner with her like treasured possessions kind of thing. And that is a partner milestone kind of thing. I just doesn't realize that's what's happening. And I's real cute, and she responds very earnestly when she replies with, you're the only person I do this kind of thing for, which is like, drop everything and go to a fancy as fuck restaurant opening I don't belong at because I can't even touch your car because it costs so much money. You know what I mean? Like, I's about to go in the deeps out of her element by taking May to this thing that is not her scene. And like, she's got to drive a Porsche to get there. And she's like, only you, May, would I do these things for, basically. And basically, this whole conversation is code for "I love you" is basically what it is, by the fact that like May is entrusting her with her car, and then I is like, I'm going to drive it and take you to this scene that is not me, purely because I want to see the dream that you crafted with ploy, because I love you, kind of thing. That's basically what they're saying without saying.
Again, actions.
Yes. I's an active service person. We already know that. That's her love language. And May smiles real big when I responds with this. And then we start getting a recollection from May about the rest of the conversation with Ton that we didn't get initially. And they basically talked about now that the elephant is out of the room, in the room has been revealed that she knows who the fuck I is, which obviously, now that we've gone through this, she has the conversation with Ton about like, okay, well, like, when is the truth about the whole eyes and thing gonna happen, May? Like, when are we gonna just end this so we can all be out of our misery with this deception thing? And May says with confidence it's gonna happen tomorrow night. So May is planning on taking I to Karat so they can have a girls' weekend or whatever. Weekend getaway with your partner kind of thing. And then she's like, I'm gonna tell her after the event, basically. That's what she's saying. So May has a plan. We can all end the deception. Or so we think, because we can't have nice things, because Chow Plunner wrote this. So, meanwhile, while they're doing the thing with the car, Atan gets a phone call from Detective Chai, who is like, yo, I got an update about this whole Kasul assaulting May situation. And then we cut away from that. And then May is now driving with I to Ploy's restaurant. They're taking a road trip to Karat. I's driving the Porsche. Everybody's so happy. They're beaming like schoolgirls in love, because they are. And then not somewhere, I wish, somewhere only we know is playing in the background. Because right now they're both being brave and taking the next step in their relationship, because they're going to go do an overnight trip with each other. That is also a relationship milestone thing. And that's what I is thinking. I was like, that's the next step in of our relationship. I showed her that I loved her without saying I love her, because I'm kind of cowardly sometimes, which is fine. You gotta do things when you're ready. And then May is like, cool, that's what you think is happening. For May, the next step is revealing that she knows who I is so that she can actually have I finally and not to herself. And she's like, I can tell her I love her and I've always loved her, and we can get rid of all this weird shit going on where she thinks she's and I can stop calling her because that's getting weird. And so we're on the same page, but we are not on the same page in this car ride, is what I'm saying in summary. So then while they're off in La La Land, because they're both dreaming the same dream, but not really right now in this car ride, Ton tries to call May. And it doesn't work out because May shares a brain cell with I. And that brain cell is really terrible at remembering to charge cell phones. And her phone is dead.
Okay, seriously, both of them cannot be bad at charging their phones because you need one of them in case of an emergency.
Right.
Like, maybe they should get matching hers and hers power bricks for whatever holiday or birthday. But then they probably just forget to charge them, so that wouldn't go well either.
Yep, they're disasters. I would say they need a friend to text them to remind them to do shit, but if the phone's dead, anyway, they're fucked. Is what we're saying.
They need carrier pigeons.
They're fucked. Okay, and then that's where the episode ends. But then the episode continues with another face cleaning product placement scene, and that's actually where the episode ends. And basically, this whole thing is an inverse scene of the last face cleaning product placement scene. So in the first one, if you recall, it was the episode where May helps I through the writer's block and they do the bathtub thing. And then for some reason, they're like, we can't put this in the episode. We'll put it at the end, just like with this one. And where it fit sequentially was like after I got out of the bathtub and like put a robe on, May's like, I'll clean your face. That's the last step of this whole writer's block process and the cleansing process. So that's how we got that scene. So bottom line, it was May taking care of I, essentially. And then this scene here is I taking care of May. So it's like inverse, similar kind of situation. And timeline wise, this product placement scene shows up after after I takes May to the fake ploy restaurant and sings her the song. She basically takes May home. May takes a shower. I goes and does whatever, then comes back to give it to May's face for her. So like I really went above and beyond that whole day, is what I'm saying. Like she could have just stayed here, and then anyway, this I is like Superwoman in this episode, is what I'm saying. Okay. So basically, I's like, it's my turn to take care of you. That's how we got here, kind of thing. And then while she does this, she starts doing the face cleaning thing. We get the product placement shot, that kind of thing. And while she does this, I ask May, how does it feel? And May says, nice. And so product placement aside, if we take this dialogue in the context of, I came here to take care of you, which is what I says when she enters the scene, what May is actually saying by saying nice is that it feels nice when you take care of me. So I think the dialogue in this product placement scene is important for like all the shit we just went through with them in this episode. So that was good. And then after that part, we veer into foreboding territory where May says, you shouldn't spoil me too much. How do you expect me to ever live without you? Because like, we can't have nice things. And then I calls her a cheeky bastard, basically, and then admits, that is exactly what I want, May. I want to never leave you. And then like, basically the rest of this conversation, they get into like marriage talk, basically, without actually calling it marriage, where they're like, you should never leave me. I never want to leave you. Like, that's kind of what they're doing in this conversation, which again is another like couples milestone thing where you start like having conversations about marriage, not actually talking about marriage. So like, that's where they're at. They skip the I love you and my name is actually I part, but like feeling wise,
actually
feeling wise, they're on the same page basically for this product placement scene. Okay, and then I love in this scene that May is such a cheeky bastard that basically she tries to use this to be like, why don't you just stay here with me? Don't go home. It's so late. You should just stay here with me. And I think I does end up spending the night with May. So good job, May. Okay, so like I goes through this whole thing where she like cleanses May's face, and then May's like, okay, my turn. So this kind of expands a little bit on the first scene where I did not at all do this to May. And she like Ai's like clearly into this. So she like preps the thing for May and like gives it to her and then like fully lays in May's lap and then is like, go ahead, do it, do it. And then May says in the scene, she's basically like, well, damn, I like, you're like clearly the mastermind because you like, it's almost like you planned this whole thing. So it's actually funny that May is like acknowledging that I outsmarts her sometimes in this scene, which I think is important because we kind of talked about that in the whole I is singing, and there's no way in hell May was ever going to predict I sings. So this is another confirmation that even in little ways, like I can surprise May, and I think that that is significant for a character like May, who's so smart, who's usually 10 moves ahead of everybody else. If she can get thrown off guard by somebody like that's thrilling, that's exciting for somebody like May. Yeah, and so basically they talk about you should take care of me, I'll take care of you. And like, can you guys just get fucking married already? Like, Jesus Christ.
They already are, really.
I know, really. But like to me, this whole thing like was another like little like uh it's another relationship milestone thing packaged into a product placement scene. And then my favorite part that was absolutely ridiculous that I love was just like at the end, I was like, this is my dream. Not being with May. She admits that like being in this product placement scene with somebody cleaning my face is my dream. I love that. It's very product placement. But anyway, their new dream is getting married. Is this my take from this product placement scene? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's the logical next step. Not saying
No,
her real name or
it's not revealing my
else.
true identity. It's that's not the next step, obviously. And
I mean,
that is where it ends.
They could have put this in chronological order.
No, I know.
But,
These product placement scenes could have been put in chronological. I don't know why they're not. I'm not
like,
sure. I have no idea. If you know, please let us know. Again, I don't know if when it aired, it was different order, like actually aired on television versus the YouTube version. But they do, these scenes do fit sequentially in the show. So I don't know why, to be honest with you, but there's things to be gained from them, is what I'm saying. Also, the lighting was impeccable in this particular product placement scene. It was like beautiful to watch.
Yeah. It's they do such a good job.
I know, they're so good at it. All right, so that finally concludes episode 6. We are officially halfway through the series. Now, with that, I will be going out of the country, so we won't be able to film for a couple of weeks. So because of that, our next 2 episodes after this release for the next 2 weeks will be us talking about The Last of Us with our friend Elena. So we'll be covering season 1 and then the next week, season 2. And after those 2 episodes, we will be back discussing episode 7 of Pluto. So sorry about that. Had to go out of the country. That makes filming hard. But I hope you enjoy seeing Elena again because she's fucking awesome. And she played the first game, so she has good insight into it. And it was very fun to get to talk to Elena again about The Last of Us because we wanted to do that for a while.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. Check it out. It is gay and apocalyptic and not at all anything like Pluto. So, check that out. At this time, let's jump into our Taylor Swift songs. So, the one I have for this has to be Today Was a Fairy Tale. Like, it just has to be with the singing and all that shit. And so, what I want to point out is a couple of lines. First is, obviously, Today was a fairy tale. You've got a smile. Takes me to another planet. Every move you make, everything you say is right. Today was a fairy tale. So I just love the another planet line because that's like literally I taking May to the shared dream and them just smiling and it being right for them. So I love that. And then continues, today was a fairy tale. All I can say is now it's getting so much clearer. Nothing made sense till this time I saw your face. Today was a fairy tale. This is May finally realizing with absolute certainty that I is the one she's been looking for all these fucking years, not it has been solidified. Everything's getting clearer. She wants to see her face, hence the dream. Okay. Then time slows down whenever you're around. This reminds me of them slowly dancing after the song ended, how like when they're really left in their own little world, it is like time slows down in a way. And they kind of were just like in that moment together that I really love. And then lastly, But can you feel this magic in the air? It must have been the way you kissed me. Fell in love when I saw you standing there. It must have been the way. Today was a fairy tale. That's I admitting their first kiss changed her entire life. What a fucking flattering thing to hear, first of all.
Seriously.
This is May falling for I the first time they actually met. And their story continues and unfolds just like a fairy tale.
First of all, the whole day was a fairy tale, literally.
Yes.
It's just, again, yeah, perfect song choice. My song is Lover from Lover. Because this song, well, it reminds me of the scene with I and May in the restaurant, like the same scene that you're talking about. But also, they're basically married now.
Yes.
So, especially the part with, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? It's just, I take this magnetic force of a person, I'm just going to say, to be my lover.
Yes.
And then, yeah, the whole thing, it's just, I won't go through the lyrics, but like the whole thing is just being in love, and that's them.
Well, that's also May again with Tan. It's she's the one. That's that line.
Yeah.
All right. Big Energy Award. First of all, Jan was in this episode, which makes it hard. But
yeah, I have too.
It has to be Jan. This makes it hard, but everything I did in the restaurant, that was insane.
Yeah,
out of Big Energy. Like you can't. I mean, Jan comes close by just being Jan, but I don't think you can beat I in this episode.
No, I think number one is definitely I and her whole restaurant thing.
Down to the number of fucking chairs, this bitch. That level of detail. First of all, just recreating that. Then she's like, I prepared this song with the band you love. On when did she do that? And then she's
clapping. Just production value that was purely for her.
Also, Big Gay Energy has to go to the way May looked at I in the dream. I just go do yourself a favor and watch that. Just oh my god, that was really, and the way I was staring at May, that was the gayest thing they've done so far. It was just that. And then Jan existing also has a lot of big gay. This episode had a lot of big gay energy. I'm just saying. Fucking Jan. Jan backdoor complimenting herself while flirting with Pang. It also had a lot of big energy.
Yeah, my honorable mention is her just shooting her shot with.
Oh, also, I forgot she did that.
Yep.
Also, Pang flirting with Officer Hottie. Just Jan in general. Jan has big energy. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
All right. The challenge. Do you remember what it was?
The challenge was what was
it the Ploy and
no, it was why are Ploy and Jan Facebook friends? Like why?
Oh yeah.
Why do you think they're Facebook friends? But also as a side quest, what the hell was Ploy and I's phone conversation like?
Feel free to write a mini fan fiction in the comments if you want.
Just let us know what the fuck happened. We just want to know shit about Ploy, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
She's a mystery.
Let us know your thoughts.
Let us know your thoughts.
And theories.
All right. So we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.